r/AskReddit by Redmond Dts. What is the worst sexual experience you've had? Thought it would be hot to get slapped in the face, so I asked to be slapped in the face. I was promptly slapped in the face. I found out very quickly I do not enjoy being slapped in the face. Masturbating and not realizing I'd touched poison oak. Probably a guy that wrapped his legs around my head while I went down on him. He squeezed so tight to the point where I couldn't breathe. My lizard brain started to panic, so I bit down to make him stop so I could breathe. And I thought mine was bad. 17. Forgot it was day 1 of my period. Had sex in the backseat of his mom's car. Completely destroyed. An absolute crime scene. Ex decided to be fancy and she took a mouthful of champagne before giving me a blowjob. Bubbles from the champagne went up my dong hole. Incredibly painful. Don't recommend. He put on latex gloves and lube, which I thought was weird, but I kinda ignored it. And then he shoved a breath mint up my ass without telling me. Hooked up with an Italian guy who refused to take his large gold chain off. It swung so hard it hit me in the face and gave me a black eye. My ex-girlfriend, who thought that giving a hand job consists of pulling down the foreskin as far as possible with the most violent strokes. She managed to slightly rip my frenulum. I was giving a guy a BJ after drinking tons of red wine. Threw up red all over him and his white sheets. I apologized, we laughed it off, and I thought everything was fine. 2 weeks later I came over to hook up with him again and he hadn't changed or washed the red vomit sheets. First time I got a BJ, the girl said, "I am the best at giving blowjobs." I swear to God I thought I stuck my dong in a cheese grater. It was like that one episode of SpongeBob where he grinds the chocolate bar with his teeth. It was my first sexual experience ever though, so I just assumed it's supposed to be that way. Needless to say, further experience has proved it to not be the case. Being questioned by law enforcement because she ended up dead. Hot or not hookup, aging myself, in random hotel. We drank. We danced. We woke up in the morning and showered together. She laid back down to sleep and I left. She never checked out of the hotel. She passed in her sleep from undiagnosed heart condition. Autopsy confirmed, but law enforcement had plenty of questions. Scared the crap out of me and I swore off internet dating or hookups for a long time. My first time. I was at a thing for 4-H where you stay at a college. This girl I made friends with started flirting with me, and the next thing I know we're in her room. A good way, and she seemed to be sad. I was confused and asked her what's wrong. She then bursts into tears and tells me that her dad recently got diagnosed with brain cancer, her dog died that week, and that she hated her life and wanted to commit suicide after she lost her virginity. It was a very awkward experience that I did not know how to handle. Luckily she did not end up killing herself and seems to be doing well now. Edit. We were in the process of having sex when it happened. One girl's meth dealing brother broke into her apartment while we were doing the deed, and then told me that I was on his turf, so I had to enjoy his company until he wanted to leave. I had not met him previously. Edit. No, he did not want to watch his sister bang. He was asking for food or money or something, I forget. The night I lost my virginity, a new friend from my first week of university invited me to her dorm, poured a fifth of cherry Smirnoff into my gut, then ripped my clothes off. There was minimal foreplay before she jammed me inside of her, and she was drier than the vacuum of space. Edit. Because of these comments, I would not call this rape. I was a willing participant. This just gave me an awful first impression of sex. I went down on my ex. It was going pretty well. She was on the sofa and I was kneeling on the floor. Next thing I know, her dog came up behind me and licked my ass cheek. The ultimate jump scare? Edit. It totally killed the mood, but we laughed about it after. One time I lasted less than 5 seconds. As soon as it started it was over. A guy told me he could channel energy through his tongue. Worst head I've ever had in my life. My wife was really drunk and forgot she had a tampon in for the entire day. The next morning she woke me up riding me and it smelled like something in her died. I almost threw up. I'm just glad she didn't get toxic shock syndrome. First time I had sex was on my ex's bedroom floor. No foreplay. I got carpet burn and didn't orgasm. That would be the first blowjob I ever received. Ended up thrusting my dear bit forward, enthusiasm I guess, triggering my girlfriend's gag reflex and getting projectile vomited on. Not a great start. When I was 25, someone I was hanging out with wanted to have anal sex. I wasn't excited about it, but she was all about it. It took forever to get inside her and it did feel great, but within 2 minutes, she asked me to pull out, and when I did, she crapped all over me. A female stranger that I had met online for a hookup neglected to inform me that she had a problem with flatulence when she had an orgasm. The first one came as I was giving her oral. She ripped a massive fart pretty much directly into my mouth. It was horrible. Being a gentleman, I pressed on. For the next hour or so, I got my balls farted on no less than 10 times. We didn't see each other again. Girl fainted on my dong and her head was a little heavy. Took me about 4 painful minutes to remove myself, while also operating a phone and thinking about whether or not to give CPR. Apparently she had some form of vertigo, and faints on sound snaps, which happened when I spanked her ass, but did not know about. He tried to slam it in so hard, he broke his dong. My foreskin ripped open during my first time. A guy did literal push-ups on top of me, no pelvic thrusts lol. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.